and for the first time think about how we could change the industry. If we were starting from scratch, what would we start with? What should it look like? And what would we have to do to be successful? Throw out everything that we know already. What would you start with? So I was at the Westfield ABX event, which is an event that they host for agents, and they're talking about future-focused topics. And I was talking to Chip Basiaco, who's the CEO of TrustedChoice.com, and said, Chip, this industry is broken, and if you can't fix it, then who the heck can? And so we started talking about some of the issues and some of the ways that I see the industry changing and some of the things that we're working on at Zinc Insurance. And so it took about 3 or 4 beers, and Chip was like, you know what, I can make that happen. Who do you need in that room? And so we went down the list of probably the most influential people from a technology standpoint, the people who drive search, the people who can make a sale happen, the people who can automate the process, and the people who can drive business to an agent. And if you put that room together and for the first time think about how we could change the industry, if we were starting from scratch, what would we start with? What should it look like? And what would we have to do to be successful? Throw out everything that we know already. What would you start with? And so we spent 2 days up in Milwaukee. Tech Canary hosted the first day, where we kind of whiteboard or talked about some of the issues that were relevant, who the vendors in the room were, the partners in the room, and what could be done from their standpoint to fix the problem. The next day we went in the room at TrustedChoice.com and started talking about what we could actually do to fix it. And so we got a chance to get up on a whiteboard and look at the industry from a fresh perspective. Not the way we currently do business, not the way vendors make us do business, but the way we want to do business. And when I say we, I'm talking about agents and carriers tugging on the same end of the rope, not having to ask for permission through technology vendors in order to do so. So I think a lot about insurance companies as just manufacturers. These are the guys that make the product, they price the product, they build the coverages into it. And I think about insurance agents as the distributors, the people who have to go out and sell it. And those two are rarely, if ever, connected as they should be with technology. And so we had a chance to walk through all the complex back and forth of business between agents and carriers and agents, and what new things we could create. And I can tell you, it's exactly how we hoped it would go. So we talked about agents and their behaviors and how important they are informing carriers on what they need to be thinking about and doing. We talked about carriers and a lot of the regulatory issues that they face, a lot of the technical limitations because of legacy systems that they face. But if we could bring those two things together, their technical assets and agents' behaviors, we could create something new and different that could inform both for the first time, and we wouldn't need a vendor to do it. So imagine the day when an agent is informed in the moment, and that might be a marketing moment, that might be a sales moment, that might be a service moment, and that might be a business operation moment, when they're informed by behavioral insights of them and their peers on what the right and best thing to do is. And imagine when that became a product that could then inform carriers on how to support us better on the distribution side. So at the end of it, 2 days, some great dinners, awesome friends made, industry breakthroughs made, and we resolved to come back together for Elevate 18 in Cleveland in June and talk about the next steps. And we gave some assignments out to each person what they could do. Zinc's coming back with kind of the working model, and Zinc is in it now. So we're taking all of these things. Over the last 18 months, we've been putting these things together. So we're going to be the first to have a working model of it, and they want to see it, they want to learn from it, they want to kind of understand how it works. Once we have that thing for them to see, we can begin to think about how they might be able to support us. And when I talk about they, it might be the vendors that help agents find the right carriers. It could be the carriers themselves. It could be TrustedChoice.com with leads. It could be Indium with market access and access to technology like we're building at Zinc. So it's bringing all of those key industry stakeholders together to solve it together for the first time.